Hello dear students, this is Dr. Agnes Kharat from MGV's Arts, Science and Commerce College, Surgana. I welcome you to learn FIBSc Zoology Paper 1, first chapter, Principles of Classification. Today we'll deal with the second part of this particular chapter. In this part, we will learn about modern species concept, lenient system of classification and binomial nomenclature system. So let us start with today's topic. So at the outset, we'll learn about modern species concept. There are two important species concept. They are biological species concept and evolutionary species concept. So what are species? Species are reproductively isolated population. Mayer has defined species are group of interbreeding natural populations that are reproductively isolated from other such groups. Historically, this biological species concept is the most widely accepted concept among ecologists. Now here in this definition, there are two terms or two phrases. Natural population. Natural population is an ecological unit and interbreeding is a genetic unit. Here species, they are gene pool. Members of the same species, they resemble with each other because they have a common ancestors. So generally all the species or members of the species, they resemble with each other. They look very similar to each other. There are three important properties of biological species. These properties are reproductive community. Reproductive community includes features that allow recognition of potential mates for the purpose of reproduction. Then second is ecological unit. Species members differs from each other due to many attributes, but all they interact with other species as a single unit in any environment. This is important property of biological species. Genetical unit. Species consist of large intercommunicating gene pool. Although the individual is simply a non-permanent vessel holding a very small contents of gene pool for a very short period of time. So these are the three important properties of biological species. Now let us study what are evolutionary species, or what is the concept of evolutionary species. There are two definitions of evolutionary species given by Simpson in 1961 and Wiley in 1978. According to Simpson, an evolutionary species is a lineage, that is an ancestral descendant sequence of population evolving separately from others and with its own unitary evolutionary role and tendencies. And according to Wiley, an evolutionary species are a single lineage of ancestral descendant populations which draws its identity from other such lineages and has its own evolutionary tendencies and historical fate. So now we'll start with lenient system of classification. Lenient system of classification. Swedish biologist Carl von Linné has established the hierarchical system of classification. In this type of classification, the organisms are arranged in group or categories in a hierarchic scale so that the organisms can be classified in a taxonomic hierarchy in an ascending rank from species to kingdom. Now it consists of a hierarchy of grouping, and that is called as taxa. The singular of taxa is taxon. The singular of taxa is taxon. Taxa ranges from kingdom to the species. The kingdom is the most inclusive grouping, largest and most inclusive grouping, and the species is smallest and most exclusive grouping. That means what? Kingdom is the largest taxa which includes many groups, and species is the smallest taxa which is exclusive, which is very much exclusive. So this is the lenient system of classification. In the pyramid you can see the sixth level of classification system, that is phylum, class, order, family, genus and species. Now phylum. Phylum is the taxonomic category which consists of third in hierarchy below domain and kingdom. Organisms in phylum share a set of characteristics that distinguishes them from other organisms from other phylum. Now, what is the definition of a phylum? Phylum is thus a group of classes with similar characteristics such as body plan. For example, phylum Chordata. Phylum Chordata, it includes into many classes like class Aves, Reptilia, mammals, etc. So this is about phylum. How we can define class? Class is a taxonomic category that consists of one or more related orders. For example, class Mammalia. Class Mammalia is divided into many orders such as Carnivora, Insectivora, etc. Then comes order. Order is a taxonomic category containing many families, one or more families. For example, order Carnivora. Our order Carnivora, it of class Mammalia, it include family Canidae and Felidae. So this is about order. How we can define family? Family is a taxonomic category which include one or more related families. For example, family Felidae, it includes genera Panthera. Then what is genus? What is the definition of genus? Genus is a taxonomic category which includes closely related species. For example, genus Panthera include species Leo and Tigris. Then comes species. It is the smallest group of closely related interbreeding organisms, and it is the fundamental unit of classification. So remember, species is a fundamental unit of classification. Now this pyramid you should remember while remembering the lenient system of classification. And if you find to remember the sequence of this taxa, you should remember a very simple sentence. And this sentence is, Dumb King Philip came over for gooseberry soup. Repeat after me, children. Dumb King Philip came over for gooseberry soup. Now D represent domain, K kingdom, P phylum, C class, O order, F family, G genus and S species. Now we will learn binomial nomenclature. The word nomenclature, it is derived from two Latin words. First one is nomen, which means name, and clare means to call. So the word exact meaning of this word nomenclature means to call by name. So it can be defined as the system which is responsible for giving name to an organism is called as nomenclature. So student, remember this definition. The system which is responsible for giving name to an organism is called as nomenclature. Now let us have a look on history of binomial nomenclature. A common names are not authentic and cannot be used for scientific purpose because these names changed from language to language. Like the single fruit, in Marathi it is different, in English it is different, or and in Hindi it is different. Now there are many languages, so one single fruit will be known with different names in different languages. Carl Linnaeus proposed the system of naming to each organism which is called binomial nomenclature, and he has proposed this naming system in 1758. In this system, organisms are named and their names consist of two parts. The first part indicates genus and second part indicates species from which the organism belongs. Now, what are the rules of binomial nomenclature system? Each binomial nomenclature system or each binomial name of an organism consists of two Latin words. First indicates genus, second indicate species. The generic name will be start with capital letter and species name with small letter. So we should always pay attention towards this important rule that generic name will always start with a capital letter and species name will always start with small letter. Two taxa cannot have same name. Remember, two taxa will never have a same name. The binomial name should be italic or underlined when it is handwritten. For example, Homo sapien. Now, since I have typed it, so I did it Italian. Now, what are the essential requisites for the binomial nomenclature? There are three important requisites for the binomial nomenclature. First one is uniqueness. The scientific name should be unique and individual. It must be the only name within that nomenclature system. Second essential requisite for the binomial nomenclature is universal. The scientific name should be universal and acceptable throughout the world and biological societies. Ordinary names cannot be used in binomial nomenclature system because it is very difficult for taxonomists to learn names of taxa in ordinary languages because there are many different languages, so it will be difficult task. And the third important requisite for binomial nomenclature is stability. Scientific names should be stable and authentic and cannot be changeable. Scientific name is the key to information about a particular organism. Therefore, even the principle of priority can be set aside by the International Commission. So these are the three important essential requisites for the binomial nomenclature. What are the significance of binomial nomenclature system? What are the important advantages of binomial nomenclature system? First one is the organisms are identified by same name throughout the world. Throughout the world, one organism will get a unique name. The name of the organisms are standards and accepted all over the world because they are unique. The common names create confusion, and this confusion can be avoided by adopting binomial nomenclature system. Binomial names are very simple and descriptive, so it is easy to remember them. The binomial nomenclature indicates general relationship. So these are the important advantages of binomial nomenclature system. Thank you very much. Students, I hope you understood this topic. For any queries, you can contact me on my mail. Best of luck, dear student, for your study. You can refer my e-notes for this particular chapter, Principles of Classification, and don't forget to solve question bank. Have a very great day, children. Thank you.